two sisters who came together and formed their own business. Tell us about how you all came together and just how the whole idea started. So go ahead and take it and just go for it, then I'll come back.
Hi, my name is Kisha Johnson, part owner of C&K Budget Mentors.
My name is Cliffunya Haney, and I'm the other part of C&K Budget Mentors.
Well, the way our business got started is our pastor at the time was talking about becoming debt-free and teaching us about the borrower is slave to the lender and so on, about getting out of debt. And one day I just happened to be in the car and I was listening to the radio, and I came across a guy on a radio station that was also talking about getting out of debt and the same things that my pastor was talking about. So I really was intrigued, and I got into the word actually, and I started studying the scriptures about debt and becoming debt free and all of that. And I was telling my sister about it, so she got on board, and we came up with a system of becoming accountable to one another. And I'm married, she's single. So for me to get out of debt, of course, I had to try to get my husband on board and the kids on board. So it took a little longer for my situation compared to her, just, herself. So we started working a plan. We came up with different things to help us generate more income and help us to pay down debt. And I mean, it just started from, like I said, it started from that. And with that, we started paying down our debt and working side jobs and having garage sales and just doing a lot of stuff to decrease our debt, because I was finding that I was doing the same thing that I feel like most Black Americans do. I was waiting for tax time to pay off bills and just doing the same old thing year after year after year, and it wasn't working. So we was in debt for half of our marriage, and I was like, man, we have to try something different. And then that's how this whole thing came about. It took us about 4 years, and we finally became debt free. We paid off our home, paid off student loans, everything. So I'm debt free, me and my husband and my children. We don't owe anyone anything except our normal bills monthly. But it was a long process. And while I was going through that process, I noticed like other people started coming, asking me like, well, what should I do? How should I do this? And what should I, those type of things. So I started helping other people at my job. And then my sister told me at her job, she started helping people. And that's how we got together and turned it into a business.
Well, mine was a little different. Like she said, I was single. So working at a company that I'm currently at, I have been there like 13 years, and I'm always running into people during payday time, like, I don't have enough money to do this, I don't have enough money to do that, and I'm just sitting with them at lunchtime, and they always complain, and I usually just sit there. And then one day, just one of the co-workers came to me and was like, why you don't never complain about your money or not having enough money with a company not really giving as many raises like that? And I said, well, usually I just had to write a plan down. I just wrote my budget down every month, and I try to stick to that budget to be able to stay out of debt. I'm out of debt besides my house. The only thing I owe now is my home that I need to finish paying that off, and I have a plan to have that paid off in the next 5 years. But when I was explaining to everybody what I did, I just kept on getting more and more people coming to me, asking me questions. I helped them out, and I just knew right there that it was time for me and my sister to make a business out of this, because we was just giving so much information, and people was having success stories with paying their bills off and helping them out.
That is so interesting that you would both have the discipline. Once you started, now hold it, what is your name again?
Kisha.
Okay, Kisha, once you got the idea in your mind, how did you have the wherewithal to stick with it? A lot of times people get ideas and they try it for a week or whatever the case is, but even you both had the discipline and the focus to stay with it. How did you do that?
It wasn't easy. I started prior to this 4 years that it took us to get out of debt. We started when we would stop and start and stop. And then finally, like I said, I went to the scriptures, and it was Habakkuk 2:2, write your vision and make it plain. So I started studying that in Romans 12:2, like renewing your mind. And I had to renew my mind to stop thinking like everyone else around me, and realize that God had so many promises for me, and he wanted me to be debt free so I can be a blessing to the kingdom. And once I really internalized that, that was my stepping stone to get out of debt. And then once my husband got into the scriptures, me, him, and the kids, it made a difference. So it was trial and error along the way. We messed up, but once we was grounded on the word, that was it. I mean, was no stopping us after that.
Is that same thing true with you?
Well, mine was a little different because, like we said, I was single, so it was just me. But with a job not really giving you raises, I had to find other income. So I started cleaning on the side, doing other things, babysitting to be able to pay off my debt. So that was not, I mean, I didn't really have that problem like hers. Mine was a little different.
Wait a minute now. Okay, now you guys are working side jobs too. How did, you already got one job. Why did you, again, focus on having another job when most people your age especially is still partying?
Well, just in order to do what you need to do as far as getting out of debt, you have to make a sacrifice to be able to get out of debt. And we knew this was something that we wanted to do. We just didn't want to continue to stay in debt from just people being around, seeing other people, the flaws they had in life, was just continue to being in debt.
Now, when you all decided to go into business, how did your friends feel about this? I mean, did your friends say, hey, go for it, or did a lot of your friends tell you that you couldn't do this?
Well, as far as for me, I have a excellent support system as far as my friends and my family. They back me up 100%. They actually pick up on some of the things that I talk about as far as the business, and they start just putting it within their life. So I have a good support system as far as my friends.
And of course, the family is the same since we sisters. But far as my friends, I had good and bad. Some of them was, I don't know, some of them was like, well, can we do this? Why would somebody pay you guys to help them get out of debt if they in debt? And, we got those type of questions. And I had to point out to them right away, if you've been in debt and you still doing the same thing and you haven't got out of debt doing what you're doing, then that means you're doing something wrong. So to me, just like a gym membership, we can work out on our own. We don't have to go to a gym to work out. But a lot of people choose to invest in their health that way. So I feel you have to invest in your finances as well. And if that means paying someone to help you and guide you and give you the tools that you're not able to implement on your own, so be it. I think you have to invest in every area. We invest in getting our hair done. We invest in getting our nails done. Why not invest in your finances? I feel like a lot of blacks, we invest in cell phones and iPad, and all of that stuff, the latest gear that doesn't go up in value instead of things that go up in value. We'll go out and buy a big fancy car instead of getting involved in our 401k or paying down your debt or preparing for kids for college.
Are your parents responsible for this? I mean, you two being like this?
No, our parents didn't teach us anything about money. We, like most people, we had to learn the hard way because they didn't know about money. All they knew was to work and pay bills and get a credit card and get in debt. So they didn't teach us anything. Actually, our father is deceased, and my mother and my stepfather, they actually is on our system right now on the plan, and they say it's just a miracle. It's just working wonders for their marriage. They said they couldn't believe how long it took them doing it their way, and it wasn't working. And they've been doing this now since August, and they're down to one bill to pay off.
Why do we tend to be illiterate when it comes to handling our finances?
I just think a lot of people just what they want, they're going to get it at that time. Doesn't matter the consequence behind it or what they have to pay. They're just going to do what they got to do. And a lot of times people don't like you to know their finances is what's going on either. So when you meet someone and they having a situation, they only going to tell you part of it. But then when you start getting to know them a little bit more, you'll see that they have a problem with spending or just want the latest, or just people they've been around. They just trying to please those people.